Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon, and it looks like animators are jumping ship from Disney to go work for the Daily Wire, the political site. Yeah, we're gonna talk about this. This is kind of crazy. It even made Cartoon Brew. Surprisingly enough, I didn't think they were gonna cover something like this, but we're gonna talk about the shift, I guess, in pop culture. It seems like more and more conservative media outlets are attempting to get into the pop culture space. The Daily Wire, of course, for those of you who don't know, they are the website slash video channel slash, I guess, movie studio. I don't know what the hell they're doing now. That took Gina Carano after she got canceled from Disney, and now it looks like they're taking more people from Disney, or they're just leaving Disney. I don't know what's going on, but we're going to talk about this. It's kind of weird. You know, I think it's a little weird in some level that the Daily Wire, which is known for being a political site, is getting into entertainment, kind of like CNN making their own cartoons or something. But anyway, we're going to talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, over 274,000 subs. Thank you so much for the support. Speaking of support, speaking of Disney, we've talked about the animation industry, and we actually have pitched projects to Disney, and this is one of those projects that was pitched, passed on, and released. It's actually a prequel to Shadowbinders called Crimson Wren. Volume 1 is coming to Indiegogo as a graphic novel drawn by Jose Garcia, who actually has worked in the animation industry extensively. He's done a lot of work, and yeah, so this one we're pretty excited about. Again, sign up on Indiegogo.com if you guys like the Goonies, if you like steampunk and magic and just traditional 80s style kids going on an adventure kind of a thing. That's what we're shooting for. We kind of joke that we're calling it Twain Punk because it has kind of a Mark Twain feel to it on some level. Anyway, let's go back to this. Coming from Cartoon Brew. They actually covered it before, and I missed it. I had no idea that the Daily Wire was getting into animation. Weird. Okay, so former Disney showrunner appointed to VP role at the Daily Wire. Right-wing media company The Daily Wire continues to grow its kids' entertainment branch by appointing daytime Emmy-winning showrunner of Rapunzel's Tangled Adventure, Chris Sonnenberg. Oh yeah, I know of Chris Sonnenberg as its Senior VP of Animation Development and Production. Here's some of what we know about his new job. Sonnenberg has a decades-long career working in animation for companies including Disney, DreamWorks, and Fox, among others. Recently, he was the showrunner of Rapunzel's Tangled Adventure, which he developed alongside Shane Prigmore, who I think, did he go to work with John Lasseter again over at Skydance? I don't know. I can't keep track of who's coming and going. Other animation department credits include Kung Fu Panda, Futurama, The Critic, and a load of 90s and 2000s Disney features. So yeah, this guy has cred. This isn't like, right-wing gun nut incel leaves the indie comic company to go make MAGA comics. No, that's not what's going on here. This is actually very interesting that somebody from Disney would jump ship to go work for the Daily Wire. And the Daily Wire's, I'm still trying to wrap my head around this. The Daily Wire is making cartoons now. In his new role, Sonnenberg will oversee a team of writers and artists, which includes Eric Branscombe, VeggieTales, In the House, COVID Restrictions, Ruined Couples Night Out. What? That's a thing. And Ethan Nicole from Axe Cop and Teen Titans Go. Very familiar with his work. I'm a very big fan of Axe Cop. I have been for years. And, I wish they had more animated Axe Cop. The Wire recently launched its own streaming platform, Daily Wire Plus. Apparently, everybody's doing Plus now, and has committed to investing $100 million in kids' content for the Daily Wire Plus streaming platform to rival the output of quote-unquote woke media companies who, according to company CEO Jeremy Boring, hate their audiences. Well, we talk a lot about that on this channel. Now, I don't read the Daily Wire. I am somewhat familiar with it because of the Gina Carano's situation, but I don't read a lot of really political websites. But we do talk about how these companies, Disney in particular, seem to be actively chasing away their audiences. That they've gotten more and more political. Now it's kind of weird though, because our goal has always been to be apolitical, to make entertainment for everybody, and coming from a political website, regardless of which side of the aisle it's on, is a little weird. As long as they're not like putting out, the little MAGA bunch or something, MAGA babies or some crap like that, which I don't think they're going to do. It actually looks like they're going to do more traditional animated stuff. Daily Wire Plus launched earlier this summer. Boring shared a brief teaser for the streamer's first animated series, Chilla. The show's official synopsis reads, Chilla is a comedic preschool series celebrating the day-to-day lessons of Chip and his homeschooling family of energetic chinchillas. Chinchillas getting homeschooled. Pure Imagination Studios' David Kentucky Coleman is also joining the Daily Wire as EVP of Kids Content. He recently produced for theme park attractions at Warner Brothers Abu Dhabi. Yeah, so look, this isn't, this is very interesting. Because I'm kind of looking at this, I'm kind of looking at what's going on with Eric July, and I guarantee you that even if this guy has an impressive pedigree, which he does, if the Daily Wire produces it, it's going to get dunked on for being right-wing propaganda. It doesn't matter how good the show is, and the show might be very, very good. They might actually produce some very good stuff, but I mean, I'm looking at what's going on with Eric July right now, and his sales are absolutely amazing, absolutely incredible, and the mainstream media is trying to delegitimize that accomplishment by being like, well, people are only buying your comic because they want to stick it to the woke, and maybe some people are, but then the flip side isn't that the marketing that a lot of these studios are using now? Stick it to the bigots. Stick it to the racists, stick it to the homophobes, support our comic, support our movie. Birds of Prey, I think, try to use that marketing too. And in a lot of ways, it actually does a disservice, I think, to some of the people working on the shows. I mean, we saw it happen with Netflix. They had that vampire show. I don't know what it was called. There's so many shows on Netflix. But the marketing for the show was like, we got vampire lesbians, everybody, vampire lesbians. There's 1 week out of the month where they feast. But that was the marketing, and the showrunner, I guess, was actually upset because she was like, hey, the show's a lot more than just, vampire lesbians. They should have just called it vampire lesbians. Maybe more people would have watched it. I don't know. Very interesting, but let's look at the comments because this is kind of telling too. So will you add the descriptor left-wing media company to every mention of Disney? No. Of course not. Bias gonna bias. Barf. The liberal left is nauseating, unlike the Daily Wire. Again, I am not a reader of the Daily Wire. I do not get into political sites, but this is interesting. Right-wing entertainment has a long history of failing. We'll see if anti-woke animation is successful. Does that include VeggieTales? Being Christian doesn't mean right-wing. This has been the biggest disappointment for me. I know so many Christians who can't stand to see their faith being hijacked by American right-wing politics. Christians are supposed to love people, not create insular bubbles for themselves. So are they going to be like Axe Cop, which was around for a while, and Ethan Nicole was kind of a legend in the indie comic space, webcomic space for a number of years. Is Axe Cop going to be viewed as like right-wing propaganda now? Because I've noticed a lot of creators that are conservative-leaning or libertarian that have tried to, I guess, cater to that audience, right? All of a sudden, they like magically overnight go from like, well, this is a legitimate product to, oh my God, Dilbert's alt-right. Dilbert's alt-right propaganda. It's like, it's the weirdest damn thing. I mean, they just like flip that switch. Like, this is the same comic, and we can argue about its merits. Dilbert, we can argue about whether or not it's actually a good comic, but it's so weird to see it like it being like, oh yeah, this is, freaking Dilbert, to, oh my God, this is, right-wing propaganda. Ethan Nicole is particularly heartbreaking. You have not been paying attention. Ethan Nicole, as far as I know, is very outspoken, very conservative, I believe, based on what I've seen on social media. Good luck to him. Sounds good. The question is whether anyone who's producing Christian or even conservative storytelling is capable of having enough chill not to be preachy. Where do you think the phrase preaching to the choir comes from? Well, that's the thing, though. I mean, that's what, I've always compared. I mean, you look at a lot of the, left-wing propaganda coming out of studios, and there is. I mean, there's some stuff that I don't consider it woke. Other people might consider it woke, but you look at some of it that just absolutely is kind of propaganda, and it's like, wow, this is like the left-wing version of Davy and Goliath. It's like very ham-fisted, very heavy-handed. A lot of the comics I've read that have these really out-of-place sermons basically in the middle of them, coming out of Marvel and DC these days. I'm like, man, is this like, like a reverse Jack Chick track or what? Gross and disappointing. Is there any media company that isn't right-wing? Yes, almost all of them. Almost all of them. And I think it's stupid, though, that everything has been distilled down to blue or red, left or right. I mean, even 10 years ago, I didn't give a shit. I mean, there were some sites out there that were obviously a little extreme, I think, in their views on both sides. But nobody really paid attention to this. And it just seems like here we are again, battle lines being drawn over freaking cartoons, right? Will this be as entertaining as VeggieTales or another boring cash grab? I don't know. Always disappointing to see talented people waste those gifts. I gotta think if Daily Wire has some kind of billionaire funding it like Prager, they might be getting a ton of resources to make this potential garbage, more so than they would elsewhere. Either way, it's a shame. Hope they're doing what they want to do. I don't know. I mean, if you're leaving Disney to go work for the Daily Wire, I mean, that's kind of crazy. I'm still trying to wrap my head around them doing cartoons, but I mean, the people that are working on these shows have pedigrees. Like I said, as long as you're not doing the little MAGA bunch or something, if the stuff's actually good, I mean, maybe we'll get some guy. Who the hell knows? Who the hell knows? But here's the story they did before, which I totally missed. They're talking about Chilla. During the launch, Boring shared a brief teaser for the streamer's first animated series, Chilla. Show's official synopsis reads, Chilla is a comedic preschool series celebrating the day-to-day lessons of Chip and his homeschool family of energetic chinchillas. Well, everybody's homeschooled. Everybody was homeschooled for the last 2 years. According to the Daily Wire subscription page, we're creating kids' entertainment parents can trust, with a $100 million investment into shows that help young minds flourish. No divisive narratives. Okay, we'll see. As long as they stick to that. No insidious ideology. Just safe, fun programming the whole family will love. Hop on in. After screening the clip, Boring explained to the audience at Thursday's platform launch why the Daily Wire is getting into kids and family content. Why does it matter? It matters because these kids go to school for 40 hours a week and they engage in pop culture for 40 more hours a week. That is not untrue. That means 80 hours of a child's week, you're turning them over to the left. And good parents might spend 15 minutes a day in meaningful conversation with their kids. Well, wait, good parents are only spending 15 minutes a day in a meaningful conversation with their kids? No. A great parent might take their kid to church for an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours a week. The other 80, they're watching Disney, they're online, they're in public schools, they're on TikTok. What are you talking about? They're on friggin' TikTok. After doing his best to make sure everyone in attendance was properly frightened, he issued a challenge and a plea for money. We have to challenge the left, every single place that it lives. You have to help us. You can wait and subscribe when the content is there. It's got a lot of content. Wow. They weren't peddling the show like some anti-woke schlock. Doesn't look or sound any more harmful than Gumball, SpongeBob, or any slice of life tunes. Yeah, personal opinion. I would like to see things be apolitical. I don't think either side should be using children's entertainment to beat up the other side, but it's very interesting to see them poaching Disney people, for sure, and especially somebody with a pedigree like Sonnenberg. So I'm going to wrap this one up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk later.